Drake Maye's turnovers. Are they a problem? We asked that question yesterday. He says yes, and then no, actually not really. You don't think it's a problem. I do.
No, I think it's a problem. I'm not worried about the problem. I think it's a normal problem for
it's a problem, but you're not worried about it.
Yeah, it becomes something you worry about.
We both think it's a problem.
Moving forward, it becomes something you worry about and you stay up late at night about. But right now, it's the cost of doing business. It's the cost of playing a raw, athletic, playmaking, gunslinger, rookie quarterback behind a bad line with bad receivers.
Okay. Stiz, do we have what Drake Maye had to say today about his turnover problem, using air quotes here? Here it is.
Yeah, I think I'm not too worried about turnovers. Obviously, putting the ball in harm's way is a big emphasis for a football team as a quarterback. But I think trying to fight back and trying the game, trying to make some plays. Some of them happen, but I do think back on my statement, I am worried about turning the football over. That's a problem. But at the end of the day, you can't turn the football over, and especially I think we're losing the turnover margin in most of the games with me back there. So that needs something that I need to improve on.
What?
I think he ended on it is a problem.
Yes, I think he did.
Right? He started off on it's not a problem. And we're just trying, it's the end of the game. I'm trying to make a play. And by the way, I've heard people defend him by saying that. These happen at the end of the game. He's a rookie quarterback. There's a minute left in the game. He's trying to make a play. He's trying to go deep, etc. And fine. I mean, sure, if you want to say that, I don't think being a rookie necessarily negates the idea that you don't have to throw game-ending interceptions every week. But whatever. I mean, and not all of them were maybe his fault either. But regardless, he starts off sort of, and he said this the other day, too, well, that pass got tipped.
Yeah.
It wasn't really, it got tipped because you threw it right into the guy's hand. Like, you could have thrown, it could have been a tuba ball. You could have lived to play another snap.
You were freaking out.
You were a little
pressure.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's not, he doesn't have the most poise in these situations, does he?
So, he doesn't,
no.
But I think, again, that's
he's a
understandable.
poised player, but not in those situations.
This is all new.
Yeah.
With a bad line and the speed and the size of the NFL, that's an example. Maybe most guys he plays in the ACC aren't tall enough to bat that down, aren't athletes. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that fingertip doesn't get on it, and he's able to get away with that, and that's a lesson learned. But I think today's answer at the podium, I think my interpretation of it is he doesn't think it's a personal problem in terms of, his development and his ability, but he acknowledges it's a problem for the team. We're losing the turnover battle in games I start. That's a problem. He knows football 101 is if you lose the turnover battle, you usually lose the game. And he can look at the stats, the simple stats, no deep dive stats, no advanced metrics, and say, we lose the turnover battle when I play. So while I don't think I'm the only reason for it or it's going to be an issue moving forward, that's a problem for the 2024 New England Patriots.
Yeah.
And it is.
It is.
Because they've played some games where if you didn't turn it over, you might have won the game.
Yeah.
But you did. And even the ones, you're right, somebody in the press conference even gave him the out of it's late in games and you're trying to make plays, giving him the out. Well, not always. The one 2 weeks ago, which one was it? The Demario Douglas one. My point would be they're not 30 seconds left, fourth down, and he's just going to chuck it. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's doing some of these on first down.
On first and second down. We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, you're moving the ball and you have an opportunity. You're feeling
Pop
something.
Douglas was against the Rams, I think, right? Yeah.
And so I don't necessarily give him that out. A lot of these aren't actually those examples. And I do think some of them are correctable. Some are, very simple. Throw it to the tuba player. I still don't really understand what happened. I don't think he was trying to throw it away. I'm still not sure I buy that.
I don't think he was either.
Yeah, I've never bought that story from I think it was a terrible throw.
I think it was a brain fart.
Yes.
Yeah, and that happens. I mean, some guy is staring someone down, and the little thing in his brain tells him to throw the ball, even though he knows there's a guy there, and he just does it. That happens sometimes.
And guys make bad throws. There was, which one of the quarterbacks last night? I think it was Lamar early on made some really bad throws. There was one down the field to Deontay Johnson. He threw it. It was at least 10 yards over his head. Might have gotten a penalty if the throw hadn't been 10 yards over his head. And they cut to Harbaugh, and he and I were making the same face to each other what the F was, who was that to?
Herbert overthrew a guy, too, by 10 yards.
These are MVP caliber quarterbacks.
Would have been a touchdown.
Right?
Yeah, right.
So there's no shame in it, and we also don't need to, I don't think, make excuses for him. It's just a very natural, normal part of his youthful development.
Yeah.
But he is definitely, this is the first time I feel like he's struggled to answer a question. Kind of the talking in circles, flummoxed. Is it a problem or isn't it a problem? Hey, Gerard, am I supposed to say it's a problem or am I supposed to? I don't know. I have my own problems over here. Leave me out of it.
I need to improve on.
You do need to improve on it.
Yeah, he does. 100%. I think we all agree with that. He'd agree with that, too.